What is up, guys? My name is Nick and welcome back to another overpowered class Modern Warfare video. Now, instead of just giving you guys my class for this one, I kind of want to show you the advantages and disadvantages with certain attachments, and I'm obviously still going to give you my class in this video, but I want you guys to see how to make the M13 to fit your specific needs. If you guys prefer ADS, speed, distance, whatever it is, whatever you want to make, I'm going to show you guys actual in-game examples of this gun right here and how it actually goes up against certain situations. Now, guys, quickly before we get into this video, man, if we could go for 2,000 likes, I will do this exact same style of video. I'm going to give you guys the best options in depth for the M4A1 or the Grau. You guys can let me know down in the comments which one you want me to do. So let's hit that 2,000 likes and I'll get that video up as soon as possible. I just want to see that you guys actually enjoy the series. Subscribe if you're new around here, and yeah, let's get into this. And there's some things that actually make this gun very interesting. So the first thing, the M13 is super accurate to begin with. It's a nice gun, it feels very good. And the second thing is that it's the fastest firing fully automatic assault rifle in the entire game, so that's really good. But because of that, each bullet does less damage than when you compare it to, let's say, the M4A1 or the Grau or anything like that. It does do a lot less, but it's still very good because it shoots faster than those weapons. So a lot of people actually go and use the M13 when playing Warzone because it does a lot better in certain situations, as you guys are going to see right here. The first thing I want to talk about for this gun right here is one of the attachments, and that's the lightweight suppressor. This is one that I would never suggest anyone uses because, as you guys can see right here, it doesn't give you much. It only suppresses your weapon, but it takes away damage range, and the damage range that actually takes away is 3 meters. So we all know that this gun right here, it does 24 damage to the body and it does 36 damage to the head to a maximum of 25 meters. So if you're anywhere within 0 to 25 meters from an enemy, that is the damage you're going to do. But this right here actually takes that away. This makes it so that if you're anywhere from 0 to 22 meters, that's the max damage, and then the damage gets weaker and weaker the further you get. So that's something I wouldn't suggest. But then there is this attachment right here, which is the monolithic suppressor, and this is by far the most popular attachment in Warzone. I think everyone is using this one, and this gives you not as much as you think. This only gives you 3 meters extra of damage range, but it also suppresses your weapon. So as you guys can see on screen right here, this is the default M13. If you're shooting someone from 0 to 25 meters, which is this is right here, you're going to be doing 24 to 36 damage. But if you throw on the monolithic suppressor, this is where it gets a lot better. You are going to be doing the same damage, but all the way up until 28 meters, which I think is a lot better than just 25 or even 22 with the lightweight suppressor. So that's really worth it, and you get into a lot of gunfights in Warzone within the 30 meters. So if you could throw this on, it does make the gun a lot better. But not only that, we have to look at other things as well. And if you throw the monolithic suppressor on with, let's say, one of the barrels that gives you damage range as well, it's not going to go to 28 meters, it's actually going to jump to 31. So that's a difference of 6 meters. And if you're using the lightweight suppressor, which you shouldn't be, that's a difference of 9 meters. That's a huge difference when you're playing the game and stuff like that. So make sure you go ahead and throw on the monolithic suppressor. It's a really good one, and it's one of them that I really like rather than using the lightweight. Don't ever use a lightweight. Now we're going to talk about the barrels, because this actually changes a lot, and there's 3 in the game, and there's only 2 that I suggest using. So the only 2 that I actually suggest using, the Tempest Mini, which gives you actual ADS speed and movement speed. As you guys can see, it's not that bad whatsoever, but it takes away bullet velocity and recoil control. So you got to kind of think, is the ADS speed worth losing bullet velocity? Is it worth losing recoil control, which is the M13, so it's not that bad. The recoil control won't be that bad. Or you could use the Tempest Marksman, which is the one that I honestly suggest, and this gives you bullet velocity, it gives you recoil control, and it gives you that extra 3 meters of damage, so you could do more damage at further ranges. So that's definitely one that I suggest you go ahead and use. And then there's the one, like I said, man, you don't want to use the other one, like the Tempest Cyclone. This one right here, this one takes away, it's kind of useless. It gives you sound suppression, but it takes away, or it actually does, it gives you sound suppression and bullet velocity, but it does take away the ADS speed. And to me, if you're using the monolithic suppressor, you already have sound suppression, so you're only getting bullet velocity out of this, nothing else. It's really not worth it, in my opinion. Next off, let's talk about the underbarrels, because these are super important. And like I'm gonna show you guys the underbarrels right here, every single one of them, what they do, the recoil control. And please don't listen to the in-game chart, that little graph right here that shows you what the advantages and disadvantages. It's not accurate. It's really not accurate at all, and they don't show you a true representation of the actual attachments themselves. So instead, I'm going to show you guys the actual underbarrels, the recoil patterns, and which one you guys think will work better for you. So right here on screen, you guys can see this is the M13 with any attachments whatsoever. It has a very easy to control recoil pattern. It goes up a few bullets and then starts going to the right. So it's the same as most guns in this game. Most guns have that type of recoil pattern. So if you could kind of control that, you could get an advantage on people and know exactly how to control this weapon. And it's not that bad. Like, without any attachments whatsoever, it only goes up like less than half a meter. So it's really easy to control. Then you have the MERC FOREGRIP, which gives you recoil control. It also gives you hip fire accuracy, which is nice, but it takes away aim walking movement speed, which I'm not a big fan of, and it does take away ADS speed. So I don't really want to use an underbarrel that takes away way too much things than it actually gives. And as you guys can see, the recoil control, it's really nice. It does take away a lot of it, but it's just not worth the negatives to me when other underbarrels that you guys will see in a second take away the same recoil control, but they don't have so many negatives to it. The next one is going to be the Commando FOREGRIP, and this is a popular one, and I kind of agree with it. The Commando FOREGRIP is really nice. It gives you recoil stabilization, and it gives you aiming stability, and it only takes away movement speed. So if you guys are one of those people who don't care about movement speed, which in Warzone you could just switch over to your pistol or your SMG and run faster anyways, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to worry about it whatsoever, and you do get really good recoil stabilization out of it. Much easier to control. Then we have the Tactical FOREGRIP, which again, I'm not a big fan of, and this one gives you aiming stability, and it only gives you aiming stability. It takes away that movement speed as well, so that's something you definitely want to think about. Like, I don't think it's that worth running, but we're getting to the actual Operator FOREGRIP or the Ranger FOREGRIP are ones that I actually really do like. So the Ranger FOREGRIP, for example, gives you recoil control, aiming stability, but it takes away aim walking movement speed and ADS. So it has those two negatives, whereas the Operator FOREGRIP gives you that recoil control as well, just like the Ranger FOREGRIP, and it only takes away ADS speed. So you gotta kind of think like which one's worth it. I think the Operator FOREGRIP out of all of these is so much better, but I want you guys to see this as well. So if you actually go ahead and there's two actual attachments, two optics that are actually really important, and it's not mentioned in the game, but if you pair up these optic sights, they actually give you a little bit of recoil control. And there's only two in the game that give you recoil control, a very clear image of where the enemy is, and are actually really pleasing to look at, and that's the Operator FOREGRIP and the GI Mini Reflex. As you guys can see, it doesn't give you much more recoil control, as in where it goes up and right. It actually just goes right. It goes up and right at the same time. It doesn't go up and then right, so it's a lot easier to control, because all you have to do is hold your joystick a little down to the left and you'll be sticking onto the enemy. So those are really worth running. The GI Mini Reflex and the Operator Reflex sight, they do take away ADS speed obviously, but they're definitely worth running. Now let's look at the three different versions of the M13 for the ADS speed. You got the default one right here, which has a pretty easy to see ADS speed. It's pretty basic. It's across most assault rifles are like that. Then we have an M13 with 4 attachments that are made for ADS speed, and you can see it aims on sight very fast. It really does. It's pretty quick. And then we have this one right here, that this one has 4 attachments that help with recoil control, help with range, but take away ADS speed, and it's clearly slower by a lot of milliseconds compared to the default and to the actual ADS speed advantaged M13. So I have to say, this is something you really need to look at when you're looking at a gun like the M13 or any gun in the game. For example, any attachment you throw on for ADS speed, only 2 of them will actually work. So if you throw on 4 attachments for ADS speed, the last 2 don't matter. They're not going to give you extra ADS speed. It's only the first 2 that actually count in terms of ADS speed. So if you throw on 4, you're just wasting attachments, in my opinion. And what I think is really balanced is throwing on attachments that help you with range and recoil control, and throwing on maybe 1 or 2 that give you that little ADS boost, so you could get at least the ADS speed of the default M13, because a lot of attachments take away ADS, and then you gotta kind of get back to that default one, which isn't too bad. And the last thing I want to talk about is actually the lasers, and then I'll get into my class. So the lasers are kind of cool. The 1MW laser, it gives you hip fire accuracy. No one's going to see your laser. There's no negatives to it whatsoever, but all you get is hip fire accuracy. The TAC laser gives you ADS speed. It gives you aiming stability, and it actually gives you aim walking steadiness as well. So when you're actually aiming down sights, your gun is very steady. This I think is pretty cool, but when you're aiming down sights, when you're looking through your actual barrel of the gun, the optic and stuff like that, you are visible. The laser is visible, which doesn't really matter, because every time you ADS, you're pretty much looking at an enemy anyways, or at least in the direction of the enemy, so they probably know where you are. So even if they see the laser, it's not that bad. Then you got the 5MW laser, which gives you hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed, which is super important, sprint to fire speed. But the laser's visible when you're not aiming down sights. If you're hiding in a corner and you're not aiming down sights, enemies could see you. You'll have no idea they're there, but they'll see your laser. They're going to know you're there. So that's kind of a disadvantage. I recommend the TAC laser. Now let's get into the class that I actually use in Warzone, and this is the one that I use all the time. It's pretty balanced, and you do get very good range with this one. The first thing I like to run is the monolithic suppressor. This one's really good because you get that sound suppression and you get that damage range. Now you do lose ADS and you do lose aim walking steadiness. In my classes in Warzone, when I'm making assault rifle classes, I don't really care about the ADS that much. I'm only using these guns for further ranges and stuff. The barrel is going to be the Tempest Marksman because you want that extra damage range. So now we're up to 31 meters for that max damage, and even the damage drop off after that is still going to be further. So even if I'm not doing 24 damage after 31 meters, I'll still be doing more than if I didn't have these two attachments on. You get bullet velocity, so bullet velocity is very cool. You aim down sights, you're going to be hitting the head the further the enemy are, and you get recoil control. Then I have the operator reflex sight, the operator foregrip, like I said, and then stipple to grip tape for that sprint to fire speed. That's my class. You guys could go ahead, try to make something similar to this, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If we could get a couple of likes on this one, that would be cool. We're going to go for 2,000 likes on this one, and hopefully we can do it. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here with those notifications turned on, and let me know down in the comments below which gun you guys want me to do next in depth like this, the M4A1 or the Growl. Let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.